Hello students, I am Dr. Tanmoy Biswas. I welcome you all in my channel Chemistry, the Mystery of Molecules. So today we are going to discuss a multiple choice question about this reagent. And in presence of sodium borohydride, deuterated acetic acid, it produces 72% product. It produces a product yield having 72%. That is the major product. Now question, what is the correct structure of the major product? In order to answer the question, 4 options are provided in front of you. I suggest you please pause the lecture and try by yourself and write your answer in the comment box. Don't be ashamed whether it will be right or wrong. Whatever you think your answer, write, because we need to know our capabilities, our weakness, and if we know it, it will be very easier for us to improvise our capability or efficiency, and this is important for success in life. Okay, so fine, definitely after some time I shall provide the answer with justification and mechanism. Fine. So today's discussion will cover few points like the nature of the reagent, mechanism, finally the final product determination, and retrosynthesis of this molecule, which is pretty interesting. Okay, so let's start. As usual, first the nature of the reagent, because if you understand the nature of the reagent, it will be easier for you to predict what would be the reaction, because it is not possible to memorize everything. Okay, so first look at these two reagents. First of all, the sodium borohydride, it can act as both nucleophile and base. In case of nucleophile, it's a better nucleophile because softer reagent. In case of base, it is a very poor base. And D or acetic CH3COOD means it's a deuterated acetic acid, and the D is attached to the oxygen, means actual structure of this is this. Okay, so what can happen? It can ionize in this way, and ultimately what it can produce, D plus and acetate anion. So like similar acetic acid which produces H plus, this produces D plus. And remember, the isotope have almost similar chemical properties. Okay, only because the neutron number is different. In case of deuterium, it has 1 neutron, whereas in H plus there is no neutron. Okay, fine. And let's discuss about this molecule, which is our point of interest. See how many type of functional groups are there. See, this is actually an alpha beta unsaturated hydrazone. Okay, so this one means this part can act as a Michael acceptor. Why? Because of just a very basic thing. If you compare that, this is from carbonyl, this hydrazone is from. So what can happen, that this can have a canonical form, means that it can come here, it can go, so positive charge will come here. So that's why this position is electrophilic, okay, electron deficient, and that's why it can be considered as a Michael acceptor. Fine. Okay, this point number 1, property. There is another point, this 2, this is means this carbon, this is positive, this carbon is also positive, but there is a difference between one, means this, for example, this point carbon A and this B. The difference is this center B is actually a harder electrophile. Okay, so this is actually a harder electrophile, so consequently harder nucleophile will prefer to attack here. And third point, there is an NH in the tosyl group, and this can participate in the acid base reaction. So 3 type reactivity generally possible for this reagent. So this is actually harder. So in this case, what we have learned, that center number 2 is harder center and center number 2 is softer center for nucleophilic addition reaction. Nucleophilic addition reaction. And who will act as a nucleophile? This sodium borohydride. Okay, let's discuss the mechanism. So what can happen? First of all, see the medium contains D plus. Okay, so what we can expect, that the hydrazone means, let's discuss, this is N, this is NH and TS. Fine. So this is actually tosyl hydrazone. So first this can be protonated with the deuterium. Fine, because acid base reaction. Okay, not deuterium, actually better to say D plus. Now second, the NH, after deuteration at this nitrogen, the NH can also be replaced by deuterium. How? Because see, this is actually, this nitrogen also has a lone pair, point number 1, and point number 2, this polar hydrogens, this nitrogen, this polar hydrogen bond means this fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen, they form polar bond with hydrogen, and that hydrogen exchange is so rapid. Even in NMR spectroscopy, this NH bond always not visible. Okay, so that's, which means that exchange possible, and in the reaction medium there is D plus. So exchange with D plus possible, and ultimately what it results, now this is D and this is TS. Now you may ask one question, that sir, why this will remain in the reaction medium? If exchange possible, then we may expect 50-50, but that's not the case. Why? Because this ND is stronger, relatively stronger, relatively than NH. Okay, so what will happen ultimately, after certain time equilibration, the percentage of this D will be more, and if its percentage is more, so this thing will be reflected in the final product. Okay, so the main thing what we have learned from this, that ND bond is stronger, so after formation of ND bond it will not prefer to revert back, and generally some such kind of reagent, means acetic acid, this thing are generally taken in excess. So we can think that in medium there is an excess of D plus. Okay, fine. So what will be the consequence? First of all, there is a exchange of deuterium here, fine, and after that this NH will also be replaced. So ultimately this reaction will produce this product, fine. In the next step, what is expected, that this nitrogen has a lone pair, and by the way, you may think, sir, how this carbonyl group is reduced in the reaction medium? So it's a deuterium. So after protonation, means after ND attachment, this is plus, this carbon center will become more electrophilic after protonation, because proton is attached, positive charge attached. So consequently what will happen, these borohydrides, hydride anion will go and attack here and reduce this, and it will be neutral because nitrogen has a positive charge on it after deuterium attachment. So right now it's a neutral, and there is one hydrogen, and this hydrogen came from the NaBH4. Okay, sodium borohydrate. Now in next step, what is expected, that what can happen is that this lone pair of nitrogen can push here and it can leave. So ultimately what will be, after this, just focus on this part, this N attached to D having a double bond, and nitrogen will have a plus, and this nitrogen will be attached to D because tosyl left. Okay, so what is the thing we are actually getting? And in this case, so see that nitrogen having a positive charge and attached to a deuterium, so it can leave the deuterium. Okay, so it can leave this bond can come here, and D deuterium can leave as D plus. So what will be the final product? So this nitrogen double bond, end is deuterium. So we can write this part in this way. Means it, don't expect that I have written in trans, means that it is not trans, it will be in cis version. Okay, so because elimination, why I am saying elimination from opposite direction is good, and elimination prefers to produce the trans product. Okay, so sorry, trans directional elimination. So ultimately what will end up, cis product. So fine, and after that this is 1,5 migration of hydrogen. So you may consider this is a 1,5 hydrogen migration. This is a 1,5 hydride migration. Okay, so what it will result, how you can think about the story. See, you can write the mechanism in this way. This bond will come here, this double bond will come here, and these will come here. So what it will produce, it will produce a nitrogen triple bond, that is nothing but nitrogen molecule, which is actually gas and very stable molecule. So it will come out from the reaction medium, and where the deuterium attached, this carbon, and ultimately this is. So This is the product. By the way, from when you look at such kind of molecule, the first thing came in your mind that such kind of molecule can undergo Shapiro reaction. And in case of Shapiro reaction, where the hydrogen attach? The carbonyl carbon. But see, in this case, carbonyl carbon hydrogen didn't attach the allylic position. So that is the difference of this reaction compared to traditional Shapiro reaction, and you can remember the story in this way. This such kind of chemistry could be a very good example of MCQ. Okay, so now next question. So we have understood the mechanism. Now one point which is a little confusing is there, the sodium borohydride and acid. So question is borohydride stable in acid medium, or which borohydride is pretty very stable in acid medium? So let's discuss. Generally borohydrides are not stable in acid. Okay, why? Because this borohydride have this structure, it's sp3 hybridization, and hydride is delta minus. So, and acid or water means that contains H plus, HOH, delta H plus minus, or you may consider that is H plus. So they can react together. This and these or these react and ultimately can produce hydrogen gas, which will be eliminated from the reaction medium, and in this way the borohydride gets degraded. But remember, the borohydrides are not that much strong or violent reacts with water like lithium aluminum hydride. They are very reactive compared to sodium borohydride. Okay, so it is not that. And another thing, the negative charge density higher excess in this hydride makes it more reactive for this purpose. So if we can reduce the negative charge density on hydride, we can expect that this reaction, means reaction of delta minus hydrogen and delta plus hydrogen to produce this hydrogen gas, will be less, means rate of reaction will be less, means less reactive with water. And how this can happen? If you convert this borohydride into cyanoborohydride. What do I mean? If you attach this cyano group, means 3 cyano with this and keep 1 hydride. Now see, because of the withdrawing effect of this cyano group, the negative charge density on this hydride becomes lesser, consider this is less reactive, and it is observed that pH around 3, this is stable up to pH around 3. So this is a fairly acidic. So we can use sodium cyanoborohydride at pH, minimum pH up to 3. Below that if you go, it will degrade very fast. Okay, so this is the basic understanding I believe you should have. So so based on our discussion, what is the answer? This is the answer of this product. So this is actually obtained in this conversion test. Okay, so this is the correct structure of this major product, by the way. So this is an interesting molecule, as I told. So we'll discuss the retrosynthesis. Before that, we will discuss the conclusion. So what we have learned? We have learned that borohydrides are relatively stable in dilute acid or weak acid. An acidic hydrogen, which generally H plus, means that is a protium. Okay, and another type of acidic hydrogen possible, that is a deuterium. There is another tritium, but generally we don't use because that's a radioactive. So this deuterium and protium mainly we use, and this exchange can possible with a solvent rapidly due to polar bonds like NH in this case. Okay, and 1,5 hydride shift or migration results different alkene than typical Shapiro reaction, which I have told. And finally, the deuterated acid provide D plus and reacts like H plus. Chemical property of this H plus from acidic acid, because the isotopes have almost same chemical reactivity, means chemical property, but their reactivity is different in case of nuclear property. But why I said the word almost same? This answer you have observed because the bond strength. For example, NH versus ND, if you compare, this ND is relatively slightly higher stable because of the mass of this deuterium. Okay, so that's why we should say not the same, almost same. Okay, finally, now let's discuss the retrosynthesis. But by the way, the students who are not interested to retrosynthesis, you may skip because this may be little boring if you don't enjoy. Okay, so let's go. Since it's an advanced course, fine. So first of all, we know that this is a hydrazone, so we can expect hydrazone from ketone, means carbonyl oxygen. Fine. After that, so we will have this one. Now in next step, what we can expect? That this is actually alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, so we can do the disconnection approach from here. Ultimately, what will be the carbon ion part will be here and carbocation part will be here. Okay, this is one. By the way, if you have a better strategy, please mention in the comment box, or you can upload your thing in the picture such that you share with others. It will be helpful for others also. This is completely my understanding. Maybe my knowledge is little poor, but if you can give something better, you are highly appreciated, and I thank you for that. Fine. So what we need? We can take an approach that is plus charge here and delta minus here. Minus charge is delta plus, delta minus. So this. Fine, allylic position, carbon ion, we can prepare, but alpha carbon of a carbonyl positive charge, it is not that much common, because we know that alpha carbon of a carbonyl group produces negative, means carbon ion derivative by enol or enolate easily. So this is a, you can consider this is an illogical electrophile. And what could be the corresponding synthon for this? Synthon for this carbonyl derivative. Question, why I have chosen this? See, both are carbonyl. One is ketone, so this is ketone, and another is aldehyde. And we know that aldehyde are less bulky for nucleophilic attack, means aldol type addition, and this phenomenon is governed by a term named as Barghi-Donnis trajectory, and I have already uploaded a lecture about this. I shall provide the link, you may visit for better understanding. Fine, so this part is fine. So now question is how to prepare this part. So this part could be prepared from corresponding just from negative charge, just consider the corresponding halogen derivative, because the halogen derivative could be prepared from the halogen derivative. If you react with metal, it will result in the carbon ion preparation. Fine. And how this could be prepared? This could be prepared by simple Diels order. Why I chose Diels order? See, it's a 6-member ring. So 6-member ring. And another thing, contain one double bond. So disconnection approach should be, so this bond will come here, it will come here, and this bond will come. So it's a diene and dienophile, and dienophile is ethylene simple molecule. The difficult part is about with the diene. So how can we prepare this diene? For this purpose, we can do the disconnection approach in this way. How this could be prepared? So you can take a carbon ion derivative from here, and you can take an alkene, because for example Wittig reaction, we know the Wittig reaction resulted in alkene formation. So one of the strategy could be this Wittig reaction. Or another thing, you can take alkyl magnesium bromide and carbonyl, means these two combination, and after the reaction what it will result? Ketone plus Grignard reagent results in tertiary alcohol, and if tertiary alcohol undergo dehydration to produce the corresponding alkene. Fine. So now how this could be prepared? In both cases, these bromide reagent needed or halide needed. So how this could be prepared? From allylic halogenation of this alkene. And how this alkene could be prepared? Again Wittig reaction by disconnection approach is this one. So this is the carbonyl part and this is the Wittig reagent part. Okay, so this is the disconnection approach. So let's learn the forward step of the reaction. So after that, we know that this oxygen will become taken by this phosphonium group, and this Wittig reaction will result in this alkene. By the way, I have already uploaded lectures about Wittig reaction. You may learn, you may go through the lecture for better understanding. Now after that, NBS in presence of H nu, what it does? It does allylic halogenation. Now question may come that said there are two positions. This is position number 1 and this is position number 2. Both case allylic halogenation possible, but I believe major product will be this one. Why? Because allylic halogenation proceeds through radical intermediate, and radical at the position 1 is more stable because the additional methyl group attached. So this will be major product. We have to separate through column chromatography. After that, what we can do? We can react this with magnesium in anhydrous ether to prepare the corresponding Grignard reagent. And I have already discussed about Grignard reagent thing. If you have any difficulty, you may visit that video. Fine, this is Grignard reagent. Now what can happen? This Grignard reagent is a carbon based nucleophile. So this part can attack here and result in a tertiary alcohol. What do I mean? This is the tertiary alcohol. And if you put slight amount of dilute sulfuric acid and heat, what will do? First of all, it will be converted into corresponding carbocation. It will leave, and this is a tertiary carbocation stable, and it undergo elimination. There are two chances. It can hydrogen can undergo elimination from here, or another not this one. Hydrogen can eliminate here, but see, if this hydrogen undergo elimination, the product is conjugated diene, which is more stable, so this path will be followed, and in this case cis trans isomerization possible, so in this way we will get the final diene product, and if this diene will react with this dienophile, that is ethylene, via Diels-Alder reaction, and ultimately provide this part. And this molecule, just look at that, this molecule have two allylic hydrogen, this and this. So if you treat these NBS, the probability is that both will result 50-50. So we have to separate this allylic bromide, means NB, and with NBS we should need H nu. So we have to separate this by column chromatography. And if you react this alkyl bromide, means allyl bromide, with lithium or magnesium, it will generate carbon based nucleophile like Grignard reagent or alkyl lithium. And if you react that with this aldehyde, selective reaction will happen on this aldehyde center. Why? Because aldehyde is less bulky, so nucleophilic addition on aldehyde carbon is easier rather than ketone. And another thing, remember, the nucleophilic addition on carbonyl is a reversible reaction. Okay, so ultimately what it will result? It will result this compound. Okay, so if you then put dilute acid and heat, then this alkene will produce. Now an interesting part is there in this case. Question: why? Because after putting acid, it will be this OH2 plus. It is least interested because after elimination it will result this carbocation, which is very less stable, because this carbocation is actually a alpha carbocation to carbonyl, and we know that alpha position negative charge is stabilized but not the positive charge. That's why we can think that the reaction will be slow, but after that this proton will be eliminated to prepare this alkene, which is a very stable due to conjugation. And so the driving force of this reaction is conjugation gaining. Okay, so in this way we can prepare the target product. I believe it's too long and a little bit boring also, but still you have to learn because retrosynthesis is difficult. Okay, so this is the end of this discussion. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you really like my teaching, please press the like button to show your support and mention your opinion in the comment box. And I always suggest for MCQ, please write your answer in the comment box. And finally, if you think this video is worthy, then share it with your friend such that they can also enjoy the benefit. And most importantly, if you think this channel is good enough to provide good content, then subscribe this channel and press the bell icon. Press the bell icon to get the notification of every single video I upload. So thank you again for watching. Stay happy, stay blessed. See you in